versatile in their draft, I would say.
Yeah, absolutely. And the thing is, when you have this bounty hunter on your team, you really want to make sure that you can take these mid-game team fights, because you really want to be able to add up and multiply that track bonus code coming through. And it feels like Mineski, they're not going to be afraid to take fights at the moment, and the draft that they have between their opening two shows that I feel like they're going to definitely have the stronger mid-game fight lineup, and it might put Bounty Hunter in a bit of a weird place where he's not really sure what to do apart from run around and give vision. So I like the Jakiro ban from Complexity as well. Obviously that was one of the ones that we've said could be really good with the Naga. I imagine they'll probably... Okay.
Oh, they're leaving the Disruptor, so we could see the Lightning Man coming out to play.
Yeah, Complexity do have third pick for themselves though, so they might actually pick the Glimpse and gives them some good team fight too. I wouldn't be too surprised to see them pick up the Disruptor here. The other one's possibly a Warlock. I don't really like that as much as the Disruptor here. If you can static stun that Naga before she gets the sleep off, are going to be very valuable. Yeah,
definitely. Well, Complexity, you know, they've been pretty versatile with their draft so far, actually. They've drafted Techies, of course.
Yeah.
Went absolutely horrendously. 20-minute game.
Oh, it was great to watch, though. Kind of.
Yeah. I mean, it was funny. So there's always that. And what else have Complexity been playing more of? I mean, they've just been a generally pretty versatile team. I don't think there's any heroes they really favour over others right now. I think partly that might be due to the fact they're still kind of trying to find their feet as this new kind of stack. Of course, Saxa only recently coming in for them. I think they started playing together for the ESL 1 Birmingham qualifiers, and since then, you know, they're struggling to find their place.
Yeah, obviously, like we said, they did manage to beat Empire yesterday, but Empire not looking massively strong. I think they're playing at the moment, so we'll see how they do there. But with Complexity, we casted them in the ESL Birmingham qualifiers, didn't we? And they really didn't look very strong. Got completely wiped by VGJ Storm.
They didn't, but they can perform. They've taken out Optic, who by no means an easy team to defeat. They also took a game of Empire as well. So, you know, whilst people have been saying bad things about Empire, they haven't actually been playing terribly. I think they were certainly doing okay versus LGD in game number 1, I think. So,
yeah. So Complexity here, they've done a different kind of route to the team fight. They've gone for this pick-off potential. And when you pick this bounty hunter, you really want some kind of stun on your team. I was thinking with the DK, they might get away with the Disruptor pick, but they kind of want more lockdown here, and especially against the Naga and the Gyro. It's a very good pickup because you want to be able to kind of control both at the same time. Obviously gives them some very good burst damage as well, which is good against the Naga and the Gyro. You want to bring them down quickly. And I think they're not going to be too afraid to take fights. I imagine Bounty Hunter will kind of transition into a position 5 almost, and let Line take over most of the farm priority between the two supports, because Line wants that early blink on Line, wants the early force stuff, really trying to maneuver around those fights. And so Mineski here, I think they'll probably pick up the position 5. Ninja Boogie's playing the Warlock a fair bit, so I wouldn't be too surprised to see that.
Yeah, that again, big lockdown would be useful for them for following up from the sleep.
And the Fate of Bonds is really good as well, obviously.
Absolutely.
Lots of heroes going to be next to each other in the fights, apart from maybe Lion at this point in time.
Yeah, so definitely a couple of good options for them.
The Upheaval's obviously really good. His hero's not very mobile.
Oh,
okay.
Ooh.
So this is a really cool pick by Mineski because
anti-armor.
Yeah, it's anti-armor, but they also haven't revealed whether it's a position 5 or a position 1 Venge. And they're one of the teams where Mushi could play the Venge if he really wants to. But with the Gyro, I imagine it's probably going to be a Ninja Boogie Venge. That'd be my guess anyway. He did play that at DAC too. And it gives a really good defensive save. So when Line blinks in on someone, tries to burst them down really quickly, Ninja Boogie should be able to get the swap off to try and save them before all that damage comes out.
Yeah, absolutely. And also, you know, can help with the Dragon Tail as well, because that's quite a long stun, so just to be able to get them out of the grasp of the Dragon Knight can be useful also.
Yeah, absolutely. And so I think Complexity here, they probably need a bit more team fight on their side. Mu kind of he might pick up the Sanking here for themselves. I'm surprised it hasn't been touched at all by both teams, actually. So it gives them some more gank potential, gives them some more lockdown. Or they could go for some kind of big AoE team fight, like a Brewmaster or a Darkseer. Maybe even a Tidehunter might be okay. But it's not a great lane against the Gyro, so I'm not sure they'll go down the Tidehunter routes. Okay, but they do pick up their other core for now, so not showing whether the DK's the mid or the offlaner at the moment. I like that. And it's a really good PL game. Obviously, it's not great against the Gyro flat cannon, but you just keep making more illusions, don't you?
Yeah.
So it's not too much of an issue. And there's not a massive amount of lockdown on this Mineski side at the moment. The Venge stun is nice, but what we've been seeing from a lot of the position 5 Venges at the moment, where they just put 1 point in the stun, and then they max out the Wave of Terror, along with the Aura, and it gives them some really good pushing potential.
Right, so this,
and there you go.
So this is a lot of kind of blanket physical damage coming out from Mineski right now. They've got all of his anti-armor, then they've got the flat cannon, then they've also got the ghosts. So I'm feeling like Complexity might actually kind of be okay with this, because they've got Phantom Lancer, who's an edgy hero, who's going to have a lot of armor regardless, and of course DK is a strength hero, but he has that Dragon Blood, which also gives you a lot of armor. I think Complexity is in a pretty good standing with the start of this draft. Would you agree?
Yeah, I think they're okay. They're in a decent place. DP and Gyro don't massively match up well against the PL, but the problem I have for Complexity at the moment is I think Mineski might just really increase the tempo here and kind of group up 5 early on and not let the Bounty Hunter get these pick-off trap kills that their team's designed to do with the Lion and the DK. And I think if Mineski group up as 5 early on, they have super good team fight. They've got the Exorcism, they've got the Sleep if they get into a bad situation. And yeah, Mineski do bow out the Sanking that we were talking about from Moo. I think that would have really good call. They need something to round off the draft on Complexity here. Some big kind of AoEs so that they don't just lose these team fights. It's really difficult when you can't ever take a team fight into the enemy team and you're so reliant on pickoffs.
Yeah, and of course Mineski, they've got AoE for days right now. They're in AoE City, eating at the #1 AoE cafe, so they've got more AoE than you could possibly imagine. Yeah. And they're going to bring up a Tide, so
I'm so
how do you team fight into this?
I'm so disappointed because I was going to say the Tide because it's a really good matchup against the PL, but I couldn't get a word in. It was so disappointed.
I'm sorry, I blocked you out.
It's fine.
All right, we'll make up for it by predicting the pick from Complexity here.
The thing is now, if you're... I'm going to go with Brewmaster. That's going to be my guess. But if you're Mineski at the moment and you've got this Tide, I feel like you're completely okay because Complexity can't burst you down. Like there's this Lion, but he really doesn't want to be using the finger on either the Gyro or the DP. Okay, so they're actually going for the offlane DK. And they're going to put the Razor against the Tide and champ the PL against the DP. That's going to be their favourable matchup, I imagine. Let's see how the lanes go, though. Okay, Moo's actually playing Razor.
Yeah, I was actually, believe it or not, I was going to suggest this. I thought they were going to go with the Razor and the Bounty Hunter in the offlane with the Phantom Lancer and the Lion in the safe, and then DK in mid. That's because Moo's pretty good versus the Tide, and I think Mineski might be wanting to go aggro with this gyrocopter. I'm not too sure, I'm a pretty crappy analyst. But
I don't think you want to put the PL against the Tide, though. That sounds really bad. I'm sure they want to try and put this Razor up against the Tide somehow.
Yeah, so the Razor goes up against the Tide in the offlane, because I think Mineski will be running aggressive with the Gyro and the Venge and the Naga.
Okay, yeah, that's a possibility. So I think, it's all going to be down to the musical lanes now,
If I predict this, by the way, what do I get?
A pat on the back.
Great. Well, I'm going to claim that pat on the back with abandon.
I just think this Bounty Hunter Lion is really greedy at these early levels in the game. So Complexity, if they don't get their right matchups here in their cores, it's going to be very difficult for them, I feel. This Razor last pick is also very good against the Gyro. Obviously, if you get that link off, all the physical damage from Gyro is suddenly gone. But at the same time, he does still have some magic damage to fall back on with the Rocket Barrage. It cool down, obviously,
is it worth using the swap to break the side link?
It could be, depending. I don't think it is all the time necessarily, but I think you kind of want to save whoever they decide to try and... you can always use it when out of position with the Razor and just burst him down.
Alrighty, well, let's get into it. Game number 1, Complexity versus Mineski, and let's find out who's going to come out on top. Predictions from the draft?
I like Mineski's lineup a lot more, and I think they're a stronger team than Complexity as well. I think they should be pretty happy with how things have gone after the drafting. I'm just worried that it's going to come to this point where Naga does a massive amount of sleep, like a massive sleep, sorry, and then they have so much damage to throw after the sleep.
Yeah,
they have this cooldown, they have the Ravage, they've got so much going on. I think Complexity might struggle to deal with it. But again, they have good pick-up potential on Complexity. If they get these trap kills rolling, I think they could put themselves in a decent position where this PL gets absolutely massive and Mineski might struggle to deal with it.
Well, look, I get one stage of things right. It looks like Moo's heading towards the top lane, and they will have the Tide Hunter up at top. And they're not having the Gyro in the aggressive tri-lane. They've got Moon on the aggressive tri-lane on the Death Prophet, which is a little bit interesting. But you got to give me marks here. I was like 9 out of 10 heroes correct.
Yeah, I'm really surprised they haven't put the Gyro in the aggressive tri. They might just be thinking that Gyro doesn't do as much early on as the DP in terms of kill potential, and then they swap back. But yeah, I still think the DP's going to go mid. I don't believe this for a second.
Okay. Is she just here to secure the level 1 rune with the superior level 1?
Yeah, that's what I think. And she has the shared tangos as well, so... What was that stun?
Yeah, there was a stun thrown out from Saxa there, just to bad-mannered, I mean,
it's pretty funny though. The Earthspike's only 70 mana now, 1 instead of 100, so... And I like what Z-Freak's doing here. He knows that Moon's going to go back towards that mid lane, so it kind of harasses him out on the way.
Yep, and Mushi goes down to bottom, and I get it 10 out of 10. Give me that pat.
No, because... Give me that. No, absolutely not.
You tell her to get a pat on the back. Yeah,
I don't think they're too worried at all. And if anyone, I think Ice has a 73% win rate on this Titan, by the way. He's ridiculous. He's so good on this hero. And you can see now...
all time or last 3 months?
All time.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So now that he doesn't have the link anymore on the Razor, he's really abusing that cooldown timer that we've seen within recent patches. I think it's 40 seconds at level on the link cooldown. So
yeah, he's just going straight into that harass.
Yeah.
And getting a couple of CS in the process as well for himself as starts to a pretty good start to this lane, and Z-Freak comes in as well, so he's going to go for the back link and then get the poison on the Tide as well, and that should be enough to get a fair amount of harass onto Ice, though Moon does just stay back and hit creeps because, well, he's a core, and that's what cores do. Yeah,
Ice is very good at testing the limits of his lane, I think is the best way to put it. So
yeah,
interesting to see how much he can get out there. If you look in the bot lane, Chesed on this PL is really struggling up against this aggro try.
Yeah, he's only got these 2 mangoes and the tango, so not a huge amount of regen. I think he's already popped a salve, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's only sitting on 1 CS as well, which is the most worrying thing. Yeah. We've talked about how important it is for this to have a good game and get massive, because he's the main one that's going to cause problems for Mineski.
Yeah, he's Complexity's win condition, I think, this game. Yeah. If you don't look after your win condition, then you don't win.
That's what a piece of analysis.
I'm on fire today, man. I'm on fire. But back towards this middle lane, and we have a Limp versus Moon. And right now, it's Limp taking the early advantage. I'm sure Moon will start to get some more CS on the board as time goes on, and she could throw out a couple more of these Crypt Swarms, maybe even get Limp out of the lane a little bit with Spirit Siphons, though it still doesn't do an awful lot to the Dragon Knight. Yeah,
this middle lane is kind of like a bit of a trade farm lane almost. I think Limp's slightly happier because obviously the Dragon Spread is so good in that lane, but Ice is just chilling. He can even just laugh with the anchor smash if he needs to while his damage is drained. So
yeah, it's not a horrible lane, honestly, for the Tidehunter. I mean, it's not great. He's not going to get much from it, but he can get something. Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah, there goes the Swarm.
Swimming around.
So PL is starting to catch a bit back up again, but I think Mineski's lanes they're going to be very happy with this because they have the better team fight in the mid game. So if their lanes go okay, they're going to be happy. They're quite happy to just trade farm at this point in time because they're going to group earlier than Complexity can and really just deal out the damage and just try and win the team fights.
Absolutely. Meanwhile, Saxa in the bottom lane just throws out the stun since he does so regularly. Just rocket barraging stuff.
Yeah, he hasn't got a point in flat cannon yet either. Actually gone for the 2 points in rocket barrage. I think usually we see the 1-1-1 build, and then they kind of max out the rocket barrage afterwards.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised he's not going homing missile this game. I guess Chessie does have that doppelganger, so it's very hard to any harass to him.
If you see what Ninja Boogie's done here on this bench, he's actually walked all the way towards the mid lane, put 2 wards down on the way. Actually, I think they put the first one down before, but you see that ward towards the mid lane from him? Just kind of scouts out behind, sees when the bounty is going to return in, because that's the area they like to go in. So Moon can just see now exactly where the bounty is going to be all the time, even though Z-Freak's just showing top at the moment.
Well, Ice is going to pull this lane, and Z-Freak and Mu are going to come and tell him off for it. They can get that static link off and just chase him around, but now he's got a point in that gush, actually makes it very difficult for Mu to get this static link off for more than a couple of seconds. So, not a huge amount of damage being stolen by the Razor, but it's out at bottom, where we have actually the Vengeful Spirit getting a kill onto the Complexity support.
Yeah, I'm surprised it's taken them this long to get a kill in the lane, but again, it's fine. Like we said, they're quite happy to just farm at the moment and not really worry about kills for now. was not giving too much in the early stages of the game. His first blood though, so that's a bit of a boost for them.
Yeah, definitely. And first blood means a little bit more gold for this bottom lane, which means a lot more trouble for Chesty.
Yeah, he's with the double mango, he's got some regen. I like that he's got the point in the doppelganger though, to help him just against that rocket barrage. Otherwise, he'd be in quite a bit of trouble, I think. And there's still 20 seconds to go, so.
Now a free homing missile as well. Doesn't really matter. It's not going to miss any CS for it anyway. But you know, it's just the donk under the tower.
Yeah, but they've got the creepers now, so they might.
Hero's coming in. Yeah, they're looking to not just pressure, but possibly kill. Jab's coming in. He's got this net available. Ninja Boogie.
Oh, good.
This party. Beautiful little jump there. There's a stun coming out, and they're actually trying to turn this one around and get some damage out onto Mushi. Z-Freak's coming in as well. Stun is onto the right PL. Z-Freak's getting low, but they do find the kill onto Mushi. But Chessie does go down immediately after Ninja Boogie getting kind of low here. Saxa trying to do the damage, will kill him. But now Jabs is giving chase with the Riptide, finishes him off, and Z-Freak will be able to escape because Jabs has absolutely nothing left in the tank. But what a fight.
Yeah, just 2 for 2 though. Some even chase going down. I'm sure Mushi would have really liked to have not been attacked by that tower about 4 times there, so he could have lived, but unfortunately not for now. And yeah, you see Gyro rotate now. They really want to just try and give Mushi some farm here. Let him get those big items that we see him get. Usually goes for the drums, BKB, and I think that's the right choice again in this game.
Now Chessie gets a bit of room to breathe, which is going to be very nice for him actually, because he's been having a rough game so far. Yeah. Currently sitting on 17 CS against Mushi's 26.
Yeah, that's true. But it also means that the Tidehunters is going to be able to...
Limp be in trouble. It's a stun out from Ninja Boogie. Limp has a tower, but this actually could be a turnaround. They're doing a lot of damage to the Death Prophet. Moon might be brought down here, and they will finish him off. Z-Freak, though, going to die in return. Limp is still pretty low, but with Saxa with the right clicks and Limp with fire, they will be able to finish off Jabs. Meanwhile, Moon goes down in this top lane to Mushi and to Size.
Yeah, great rotation.
Ninja Boogie. Could be right.
Mineski trying to bring down that DK so much, but he's so tanky. He's got 2 points in the Dragon Spur, sitting on 1200 HP, the regen, yeah, from the Soul Ring, got the Wand, and he is just impossible to bring down when they just don't have any burst damage on their team at the moment. Like the Gyro's got the Rocket Barrage, but he wasn't there for the gank. So.
Yeah. It's slightly rough for Mineski in this middle lane, but they're still going to be happy with how things are going in general with the start of this game. I mean, 36 PS on Moon compared to the DK, and they're pretty much equal, but then you've got Mushi, who's sitting on 28 CS, and Chessie only just catching up.
The thing is, I don't think it gets any easier for the PL now, because he has to lane against the Tide, and I don't think that's a great matchup for him, so they actually swap again. Yeah, they put the Razor bot, put the PL top, and it's going to be okay for now.
Tide's going to drop.
Yeah, obviously you can't crack and shell off that Hex anymore, so it's going to be their main way of killing him, but I don't know if they have enough damage in the meantime. I have to see how as the game goes on, but I'd like to see a 4-4 instead of sometimes we see the 4-1-4 build on the line, get some more points in mana drain. But that could also hurt the Tide, because obviously he's lacks some mana at times. But yeah, the Hex is really valuable.
Up the top lane, Z-Freak will go down on the bounty.
Yeah, that's fine, mate. Z-Freak's just giving vision, seeing all the rotations, and he's tanking the ganks. He doesn't mind too much there.
And Saxa, does he need to find level 6? I don't really think he does.
I think it's important for him to get the level 6 though, so they can burst down these heroes like the DP and the Gyro. Obviously, he's got the Spirit button going on for her, so which is really going to help. So if you can just finger the DP and kind of stop this momentum coming out from Mineski, like if you can pick her off before they kind of group up as a 5-man, that would be really nice. I think that's the ideal place for Complexity to go. But yeah, this trade lane farm that I talked about in the mid lane, they are just basically sitting on the same amount of CS, aren't they? They just kind of push the lane out themselves, go back to the jungle, farm some of the camps.
Yeah, it's a pretty calm lane, as both Complexity and Mineski mid laners kind of just having a kind of agreement, like, alright, let's just farm, you know, let's just be the heroes in our team, and come out this lane in a really good place. We'll throw it over to Networth, and to the DK is slightly ahead, because of course they did have that gank onto the Death Prophet. Well, it was more a gank onto Limp, which turned into a gank on the Death Prophet. Yeah, and there's some
support rotations here towards mid from Mineski. I'm not sure what they're it's actually Mushi rotating as well. And he loves this Gyro. I'm really excited for this, because he gets that level 6 and he just gets online, and they're going to want to try and this mid tier 1 nice and early to try and take over the map.
Yeah, just waiting for someone to show. Meanwhile at top, Ninja Boogie just trying to stop Chessie from pushing this tower, but that's not a whole lot of Venge can do by himself. Yeah. And Mushi just shifts lane now, just going to flat out say, look, we're going to push your tower, come and fight us.
Yeah, I don't think they can fight, because he's not level 6 as well.
There's a lot of damage onto Ninja Boogie here. Gonna try and get the TP out, but they do have the shurikens cancel on the income Mushi as well. Gonna drop the rocket. Nothing more than that though, just clean up the farm. Quite nice efficiency from Mushi there, and also save the tower. Meanwhile, Lit, down. Starts going down. Meanwhile, Deathrock in the middle lane, getting drained, and Moon gets his getting that damage off. But in comes those good and heal Moon right back up again.
Yeah, it does have the 3 damage stolen on the Razor though, so Moon realises he probably doesn't want to be chasing. I like that they didn't quite kill the tier 1 mid obviously, but they got it very low, which is going to be super valuable for them. So if they win a team fight next time, they kind of look into the mid lane.
She getting onto Chessie here at top. He does have the doppelganger available, saving it for the last possible minute, trying to get away from Jabs here, who does have that net, but now he's that doppelganger, he's got nowhere to escape. And fortunately, the rocket gets the wrong one, but I think Chessie is going to die all the same. He jakes into the trees, he's so low, needs to get away from Mineski, but the flat cannon, it's going to be enough to finish off the Phantom Lance. Moo comes in with the support of Z-Freak, but now getting next up immediately. Saxa here, trying to find the stun. Will he be able to find it through the trees? He gets that Hex off, stun to follow. Z-Freak is here on top of him, he's got all the venom, so he's going to slow Mushi right the way down Moo, slapping his damage. They take Jarek up, and now Jabs could be in trouble as well. They take down the Naga as well, and that is a double kill for Moo, as Complexity managed to turn it around in the top lane.
They do mid-tier 1 on Mineski, but that's a huge fight for Complexity. I thought Mineski would group up early, but no, Complexity said, we're going to group up even earlier than you would. Got this DK in the Razor, we've got really strong cores that can fight early.
We don't even have a track yet, do we?
Doesn't matter.
Let's go.
They are getting the bot tier 1 though on Mineski, which is just going to be a trade for the top tier 1.
Yeah, it's freak, okay.
Yeah, we'll dust on the Ninja Boogie as well to help with that one.
Oh dear. But they trade tier 1 for tier 1 on both safe lanes, so both characters are going to be equally disgruntled about that, as their ability to fire in jungle gets a little bit more dangerous.
Yeah, I think when both Complexity get the level 6 as well, I think that's a really good go time for them. They kind of just need to make sure they get killed with the track, make sure they use the finger straight away. I really hate watching top lane cooldown.
They're going on to Limp here. They do have them there. In comes Saxa, and now Jab finds himself on the receiving end. Skank Moo coming in as well. Done for the Sadlands. Can they finish off Jab? And it doesn't look like they can. Jab getting to the tree line. Will finish him up. Now Moo on the receiving end. Is Mushi doing a lot of damage, but the team comes up behind. Mushi the wave, trying to turn it around. Gets started up. Takes Saxa down with him, but he goes down himself. Now Ninja Boogie, considering going on Limp, but realizing he just doesn't have the damage between him and Ice, so will stop.
There was still a few seconds to the Ravage as well, so couldn't quite use that in the fight there. I'm sure they would have really liked to have seen our TP there and group up and seen this massive Ravage come out and turn the fight around, but it wasn't quite there, unfortunately.
It wasn't to be. The DOTA cooldown god said no.
Moo's doing a really good job on this Razor though. Him and Limp are kind of like tempo controlling the game at the moment. Just kind of make space for the PL, because, you know, he did have a bad laning phase, it felt like. Oh, they smoke under the ward though. This is really unfortunate for Complexity.
Yeah, this is going to show quite a lot as Mineski group up in this middle lane, ready to receive this gank. I'm wondering if they're going to get to the high ground, in fact.
Yeah, they kind of want to play around this exorcism now. I think if you're Mineski, they play around these big cooldowns, and they do have the Ravage as well, so wouldn't be too surprised to see them just group up as 5 and try and take a fight. Is Naga level 6 yet?
No,
yeah, she is. So that's going to be that sleep's going to be huge. If you, I think you just use the sleep to stop the link at the moment, and then just get all that damage out afterwards. That would be the play, because you really don't want to initiate with the Ravage. You kind of want to use that as the big counter-initiation tool instead, just turn the fight around. And there is the Tome coming out on the career, as well as the armlet for, I imagine that's going to be the DK.
Unless, yes, that was DK's armlet.
Unless Moo on this Razor is coming up with some really, some new Razor builds.
You never know. You never know.
So yeah, the support's just hanging around Moon at the moment. They really want to just make sure he doesn't get picked off.
Yeah, nothing happening with this smoke though, as Mushi just farms up under his tower here, nice and safely, although Moo and Saxa are making their way over, and the Dire don't have vision of this rotation, but I'm pretty sure Mushi's going to be a little bit more careful than this. Yeah,
Ninja Boogie has put some deep wards down, but Mushi, this is just pure sense by him. He just knows there's something wrong here, because he doesn't see them in the... He knows that they smoked up before, so they are probably looking for something. He was by himself, so...
That's the point.
Look at this smoke coming out.
Much more aggressive from them, as they have 4 men smoking up. And, well, Limp seems to smell something's off, and they guess the wrong way as Limp just sneaks away. And look at the commitment into the trees, they're just not going to find anyone.
Yeah, they really want to be able to pick Limp off there, because he's the big team fighter for Complexity at the moment. And ISS TP bot to try and save that bot tier as well. So they're just going to keep that one alive. But now they've got the good tower trade. They need to just kind of wait for the exorcism again now, unless they can get a pick off with the Ravage.
Yep, so with the smoke, they do get a tower, and now Mineski, they're actually kind of flicking their way towards mid. I don't think there's any situation where they could take Roach here. But Moo getting nicked up just on the river.
I like that he's got a point in the silence as well. Has he gone for the talent on the pure? Has he just gone for the... Okay, so he's gone for the... He's level 11, so he can put the point in the silence now. My brain is not ticking enough today.
It's okay, that's okay. But yeah, he gets the 50 damage talent, which is quite nice. Mushi being scattered out by Z-Freak.
Moo is coming in as well on this raid, so Mushi might be in trouble.
See Z-Freak under the sentry wall, and Moo says no thank you, and gets himself out of there.
Z-Freak's been really fortunate on this bounty hunter. At least some good sentries here by Ninja Boogie. You see there's quite a few in a row there that he's put down, because he knows the bounty hunter's going to be coming around here trying to put some deep observer wards down, and Ninja Boogie's ready. He's already knows what's coming.
Looking in towards his middle lane, though, trying to escape the wrath of Jabs and Moo. Life Drain is coming out on Tim. He's going to need some help. Beautiful stun onto 2, though, and Lim coming in, trying to do the damage to Jabs here. Jabs does have this song. He's going to stay long enough to get it off, though. Certainly is not, as Moo and Ninja Boogie just backing out of this. They don't have that level anymore. Swap not yet available on Djibouti either, so that set would not be available.
Yeah, Complexity might try and force something here, I feel like. You don't want to be using that song when it's just you getting picked off, because it's such a long cooldown. You kind of put yourself in a place where, I got out and I didn't do anything because I don't have the song anymore, so you might as well just let yourself die.
Pretty sure it's available like 5 times in a row there, but please ignore that.
Oh, it's okay.
You'd know. Moo in the bottom lane. Just taking some creeps up. It's going pretty fast and looking for BKB next.
So here we go, though. They do have the Ravage, and I think Mineski, you're probably going to look to try and smoke up here. Oh, yeah, they do put the sentry down to probably see whether there was going to be an observer. They do get the ancient stack as well. Yep. Which is going to be good for Moody. He got the drum line now. What's he going for next?
He is in Drum City and looking to make his way towards BKB Town.
Yeah, and that's going to be really nice. Obviously, good against the DK lockdown, good against the Lion lockdown. And when this Chessie gets the Diffusal Blade on the PL, a lot of that damage that comes out from him is from that Diffusal Blade. So if they can stop that damage coming out with the BKB on the Gyro, they're going to be in a really good position to just basically try and group up, take the Roche, take the towers on the map.
Z-Freak under a sentry.
Not again.
The bounty hunter getting taken out time and time again by Mineski.
Look at Ninja Boogie's net worth, by the way. I thought this is completely... right at the bottom there. Yeah, there's a bit of a gap there. And do you know, I dread to think how many centuries he's bought this game just to try and do this bounty hunter. But this is Ninja Boogie all over. He is so sacrificial with how he plays. He's very happy to just play the really hard position 5. And we haven't really seen that from too many teams. Like quite a lot of the teams at the moment, like Secrets, prefer to go for these more greed fights, like the Spirit Breakers and Night Stalkers and such, even the Bounty Hunters too. So it's nice to see them being so, sacrificial from Ninja Boogie to help their cores boost through, because they have quite 3 fairly greedy core players. Mood maybe not so much, but I feel like Arx is one of the teams that really wants his items.
Well, in towards the middle lane we go with Ice. And I have to say, with the team fight which Mineski can put out, we haven't really seen them take advantage of it quite yet. Even game, but I'm fairly certain that Mineski going to hit some timings and they're just going to go. Yeah,
Complexity going to force into a fight at some point. It feels like they're dodging, just trying to get some key items up on their heroes. You look at the power take on them up at the moment, that's 4 down now from Mineski. Only 2 towers left for Complexity on their side, and at some point they are going to have to be forced into taking a fight. And I love that Moo's going for BKB next as well to give himself the best chance.
Yep, Moo's going for that BKB. DK's going for the BKB.
How many centuries has Ninja Boogie put on the map? There's loads.
Yeah, there's a fair amount of... They get the dust off. Z-Freak really hating this game right now. He gets Jason's the enemy base and blown up once again. Top left, they get the return kill to no, and that's pretty big.
Yeah, that's a big kill.
That's a biggie.
Yeah, Z-Freak's like, you got me, #worth, because we killed your core in return. Space created. This is all valuable for him.
I'm actually very surprised Jabs didn't want to throw out the song there, because they had Mushi TPing in, Ninja Boogie behind, but I guess with the Death Bomber down, it's pretty risky to take any kind of fight.
Yeah, the song AoE is so small at level 1 now too, to scale up. So.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, well, see, finding some space this game actually, and has been able to find, and look at him, he's going for a BKB as well.
He has to, because he knows Mineski are going to group up at some point soon and just take this massive fight, and I feel any of the cores who don't have a BKB are just going to be in trouble, basically, because there's so much magic damage coming out from Mineski and from Complexity as well that someone's going to get burst down if they don't have BKB.
absolutely. Absolutely. And, the song comes out. They will, we might be able to find Moo in the trees. Going to use their solutions to scout it out. They are guessing completely the wrong way. And Ninja Boogie doesn't even find him. Moo.
Yeah, I feel like that wasn't
Yeah.
I feel like that was too hard to read because he kind of just walked down. I think they
overthought it. Yeah, and
thought he would
just
juke them and
007 away from that one.
I think it was 001. It's kind of just the obvious, really, wasn't it? That was.
Well, yeah, that's what you think, but he was actually triple weighting them as Saxa goes down. Oof. Very, very much damage on the death profit, but that's not that 50 damage talent, so I was actually expecting to die to that, but
it really improves their right click damage. I'd love to see Mineski go into the Roche here. I think that's what they're going to do. Has he got a forward press on the DP? Oh, with the arcane route as well. The
beautiful, absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, the medallion.
That's exactly what we wanted to see.
Amped their damage output so much.
Yeah, and the Riptide, and the Wave of Terror. As we talked about in the drought, there's so much anti-armor. I mean, Roche is on not much armor.
Yeah, it's, I think it's on 20, it's on, something like that. So, obviously with the Riptide, I'd love to see him finish off the Solar Crest on the DP, but I think he realised,
just for fun.
Yeah, I think he realised now that because the Roche is so important, he doesn't need to finish off that Solar Crest right now. I love that he's going for the Mineski instead, stops him being burst out by the DK in the line. That's the main way he's going to die at the moment. I'd possibly like to see a BKB on his head, but I think the AM is just as good. Kind of gives him some more survivability. Anything like that would be fine.
Well, look over to BE Watch. We have Knight still pretty far away from his. And look over to the PL. A little bit closer, but still pretty far away. And it is also Razor, who's very close to his BKB. So, win the BKB race.
This is the problem. Mushi picks up his BKB. They have the Aegis from the DP. And this targeted Ravage as well. So, with this next exorcism, the PL and the DK aren't going to have their BKBs on.
Things are going to get very rough for Complexity, very feeling. Unless they can find space to get these BKBs up, which could be a bit of an issue for them. I'm not entirely convinced it's going to be the case, but let's see how it goes. Freak just trying to give information. They will know about this BKB, and they'll probably assume that Mineski is looking to fight right now.
On the other side, there's Saxa picks the Blink on the line, which is a huge pickup for them. So if they can get on the gyrocopter before he pops the BKB, they can bring him down. I just want to point out, they actually put the Aegis on the Death Prophet instead of the Gyro, which I'm not really too sure about. Obviously, DP not that great with the Aegis because you don't respawn with Exorcism. Yeah, and he's got this Elm Disc, so this is kind of very, very defensive on Moon here. Yeah, I'm inclined to agree with you here. I feel like it would be much more valuable on the gyrocopter, but what do we know? We're just casters. I guess they think because Bushi has BKB, he's not really in too much trouble, would be my guess, but... True. Because Moon doesn't have the BKB, they want to give him the Aegis, and he's going to be the one probably standing at the front and tanking anyway. Yeah, Moon trying to TP out of this one. Will they be able to get it? Well, they commit the Ravage, and bringing Moon down will be successful, although Courier did have the full BKB on it, so he's not going to be that bothered about dying. He actually had very, very, very little gold when he died. This is an exorcism for the tier 2, as well as popping it just in case that kill went wrong and Complexity managed to bring a few more heroes in backup. I'd like to see Mineski possibly just even carry on here. Or the sentry. No, Ninja Boogie, he's going to throw down another sentry. How many of these have you got? Looks like the Freak will just about survive. They've popped the dust, but they don't quite manage to counter that DP. I love that Mushi is the one that's bringing the dust to these fights as well. Ninja Boogie's so poor. It's definitely dirt poor this game. Jesus. It's rough. I think Muji has to go for the Butterfly next on the Gyro as well. Really good against the PL, obviously evading some damage from the illusions. Always going to be useful, especially when the diffuser blade. That's the main sort of damage, so it's not like just dodging the attacks from the illusions of damage. It is the diffuser blade damage that he's dodging as well. And there you go, he does finish off the Solar Crest afterwards. That's quite a nice pickup, and now we're talking maybe start working towards the medallion if Djibouti fancies it. If he gets a break from all of his detection though. My worry here at the moment is for Complexity that they're getting into this mid-game, and their 3 cores have all done well in the lane stage, but I just don't think they can fight Mineski head-on. They don't have that team fight that we were talking about where they maybe like a Brewmaster. But they're more than willing just to wait out this game. Oh, he's actually going for a Manta on the PL, not going for that BKB anymore, which I think is really risky. I like it. It gives you the option to break out of that ensnare or BKB'd. Yeah, that's good, but at the same time, it doesn't really help you against the tide, does it? And I think with that Ravage being the key fight for Mineski, key fighting tools for Mineski. I don't know how much Manta is going to help you unless he pulls off some sick Manta dodge around.
Yeah, true. We'll see how it goes for him. I'm a big fan of the Manta pickup, but we shall see. Yeah, he just makes the hero elusive.
Yeah, he does have a doppelganger as well, which he could possibly use. Which the Ravage obviously does have a pretty big animation.
Yeah, true. Well, coming forwards, getting that cycling on to Mushi will quickly back out as he sees the amount of heroes on Mineski ready to fight.
Yeah, so just grieves off the track straight away.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
No. And just get that vision out of here.
He was at Mushi as well.
And one flip side of all of this vision, which Mineski had been throwing out, is that Z3 actually very scared to come forward here. He's really kind of nervous.
That's true.
We don't see it roaming around as much. He doesn't get quite as much information for his team, so maybe with a vengeful move.
Oh yeah, nice. Up the bounce hunter.
Yeah, but Z3 is going to be completely happy with that because he just pops an 85-second cooldown on the Aeon disc. In fact, 90-second cooldown on that Aeon disc.
I was about to you out on that one, but you quickly saved yourself with the cooldown.
Being trouble, the swap is there. No, it's immediately turning it around to Ninja Boogie. Ninja Boogie's getting completely destroyed. Moon popping that BKB and going straight for you're going to steal all its damage. Ninja Boogie finally falls. Moon going down to chest. Lines and straight onto jabs. Ice. Only one left alive, but this is such a bad fight for Mineski right now. They are trying to chase down the Tide Hunter as well. And, well, with all the heroes on the very going to get this kill.
So as well, which can is going to stop the break from the Tide.
Yeah, with all this damage on Moon, I mean, it's just a long but successful kill. And Complexity taking a really good fight in this middle lane versus the major winners, Mineski.
Yeah, I feel like that was really bad initiation by Mineski there. I'm not sure whether they saw the DK have the BKB, because if they did, I think they would have realised that they didn't really have any full potential, and the turnaround was going to come very quickly from Complexity into their own tier 2.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head there, and down to the middle lane we go as the Complexity feeling very, very happy with themselves and looking to take their reward, which will be in the form of this tier 2 tower. But Mineski, they're building, but I don't think they've got any intentions to the power of Complexity, the wrath of Complexity right now. Yeah, the BD on Linth, they're really helping them take that tower. They probably didn't really need it, but does add up nicely so that it goes down quicker than before. I like the vision that Mineski put down on the map, though, if you see the cliff falls down towards the Radiant side. But they need to make sure they can use the vision now, because it's really important. They've got their big ults up again. They didn't use the Ravage, they didn't use the Exorcism. The DK forms down for another 20 seconds, so you might see a smoke from Mineski or something soon. Try and group up, because it feels like we haven't seen this big combo that we've talked about with the song, the cooldown, the Ravage, the Exorcism. Complexity have been doing a really good job of splitting the map up, and Bounty Hunter is doing a super good job of spotting out when Mineski are grouping up as 5 and just either tanking the ganks or telling it, look, they're here now. We just need to go to the other lanes, push them out, just completely avoid them for now. Yeah, and I mean, well, now they've got this level 12 on Nagasara now, this staff as well. This might finally be the time when they can get that song initiation, but you know, the BKBs are going to come off regardless. At the moment that song ends, there's nothing they can do to stop those BKBs coming off, is there? No, and that's a real worry, because I'm sure they would have liked to have grouped up as far and taken fights before the BKBs came out from Complexity cores, but it's got to the point now where it is looking damaged. It is looking bad for Mineski, sorry. I love how he's got the Alpha Wolf on Tide as well. That right-click damage really coming through hot. Brutal, absolutely brutal. He does get that 250 damage channel at level 25, so maybe he's just preparing for that. Yeah, true. And see for the Anchor Smash extra damage reduction as well, which is really good against the PL and all his illusions. Zenith getting so much scouting here. It feels like we haven't really taken any kills, but it's really difficult for him this game when Complexity it feels like they're not really the ones initiating and looking for kills in the first place. Yeah, it's just Zenith doing the other side and giving vision and checking the movements, seeing where they're going all the time. They're definitely not getting the information they want from this game, and I think that's one of the reasons why they've struggled to find this initiation. And really, you know, you look at this draft and you go, oh, they've got great initiation, but then Tide doesn't have a blink, and Jabs has just got 4 stuff, and with the amount of information which Complexity have on this game, how will they ever catch out more than one hero together with this sleep before Complexity have a chance to react? Feeling not so confident for Mineski, to be honest with you. Yeah, with the sleep.
Cleave was set up the Ravage, that's why I think he went for Blink on the Tidehunter.
Yeah,
but it's...
with those BKBs now, makes it difficult. Ice being slowed right down, and that was just going to give Moo a ton of damage.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he saw, but he actually went for the Blink on Moo, which is a really smart choice this game, I think, because what it allows him to do is he can pop the BKB, and his only job this game, well, not his only job, but his main job this game is to blink in and just static link that gyro, because he is the main source of damage, it feels like, apart from maybe the exorcism.
Yeah,
but just get rid of that raw right-click damage from the gyro. It suddenly becomes nothing when you pop your BKB at the same time.
Yep, and even if they do get all of that anti-armor off on you, if the gyro's not hitting for anything anyway, you know, nothing amplified by 100 is still nothing.
That's true, yeah.
Yeah, big maths.
I'd like to see a 4-star from Mushi as well at some point in this game to help himself out against the Link. I think he can't rely on his teammates to help him with the 4-stars, especially if it's BKB. Obviously, you can't 4-staff your teammate that's BKB.
She could be in trouble here. Moo just jumping on, but you get that 4-star right up onto the high ground. That's pretty nice. And now the stun to go on him, but in just the fishing out all the damage. Rabbit come through and hits down too. Little bit able to ignore it, but it is Saxa who is going to go down. She's also going to drop to the power of the dragon. Exorcism doing a lot of work. Is he going to have to get out of this one? Can he get away from this Phantom Lancer? He's got that doppelganger. He's got to make it count for the silences out. He's trying to get to the tree line. His Mantis on cooldown. He just can't get out of this one. As Mineski, they take down 3 heroes on the side of complexity. Sorry, Dragon. He's the only real survivor there. As Z-Freak just, I think he TP'd out of this one, I think. I'm not sure if he actually died. No, he did manage to get out.
What a clutch silence there by Moon at the end to secure the PL kill, because I think he was about to doppelganger down the cliff.
That was the plan.
If he got away, but I think Mineski goes straight into the Roche pit with that fight. Do they do enough damage? They have the solar crit. Okay,
yeah, they've got the anti-armor. They can certainly take him down.
The Ventor on the wave of Terran, they definitely have the damage. That Alpha Wolf. That is why Ice has the Alpha.
yeah. And, well, it's this time going to the Gyrocopter, as we expected, and Moon will take that cheese. Cheese just so good on Death Prophet, and I'll let you explain why.
Yeah, obviously, we talked about the Aegis not very good earlier, and I still don't know why they gave it to Moon, but obviously he's going to get really, really low in the middle, and he can just pop his cheese. Exorcist is still going, and he all of a sudden goes, aha! I'm like a new hero reborn. It's almost like I have an Aegis myself, but yeah, you kind of just like give
minus the dying part, and losing your exit.
Yeah, and you kind of just want to tank yourself up in those fights. And with the cheese healing, that would be massive. Mushi does finish off the butterfly as well on the gyro, which is a huge pickup. Obviously, pops the BKB.
Bottom lane, they stun up outside sight, and now they're just going to get themselves out of here. They have that Shadow Blade on Olympus. I think you just mentioned.
Yeah, I love that Ice has now gone for the blink though, because he realises they do have BKBs, so he kind of needs to shock them almost. He can't wait for that sleep to ravage now, because like pop the BKBs, and then it's really difficult for Mineski to take the fight. And there is an arcane rune.
Yeah, I do like this blink, and you know, surprise Waterman. My birthday.
If DK takes this arcane rune. Okay, no, Moon does take the DP, which I really like.
That's equally as big, to be honest with you. Like level 3 now on that exorcism. Reducing the cooldown, it's absolutely massive.
It means they can just commit the exorcism to this too, and not be afraid. The exorcism will be relatively soon. Also, just a cooldown on the big kid, which could be nice if they end up in a really long engaged fight.
Yeah, no. It's something on top, because not only does it reduce the time, the cooldown exorcism, but it doesn't reduce how long the exorcism's up. So its uptime is like massively more effective than other spells. Yeah,
I love how they're just going for this now. They have all their ults. There's no reason for them to wait anymore. And Limp on this. Chessie on the PL is not in a position to be able to fight, so they have to keep back, and the tower's already getting low.
It's getting very low, and Complexity just can't really figure out what to do about this. There's poor Shadow can come forwards, but Mineski, they're going to clear out. They actually throw the silence back onto the DK.
Played by them, just make sure, because the exorcism's running out, they don't want to get caught out there. Just wait for it. They've got the exorcism up again soon because of the arcane rune, but Chessie doesn't even TP back actually.
Yeah, the guy was bit, and he actually managed to take his own 3 so a straight up trade for Complexity. It's pretty good.
Yeah, they're going to be very happy with that. I think that's probably another reason why Mineski didn't want to trade Rax for Rockstar. It's really important they can get these pickoffs. The pickoff potential on Mineski really isn't there. They're kind of so all in on the team fight, it feels like. The Chessie's doing a really good job on this PL of just dodging them all the time. I would have liked to have seen that on him. I think that he's actually going for the left eye, which could be super good against this DP and just finishing her off. Maybe she can't get the cheese off, can't get the BKB off, even purge the Aeon Disc as well.
Yeah,
that could be really bad.
You basically make the item useless, right? If you can get that up in time.
Yeah. Moon might be in trouble here.
Yeah, Z3 will scout, sack the field.
They really don't like it on him though, because he hits the on this. They kind of want to get somebody else first.
Yeah, well, the whole of Mineski in for this one. Going to swap Z3, and this is going to be complexity without their bounty hunter for a while. So I don't see him getting out of this one.
No, and that cooldown missile just plops on top of his head.
Mushi's such a badass. He drops a cooldown and then just turns away. He's like, I got that kill.
Yeah, cooldowns don't look at explosions.
Exactly, and Mushi is the coolest guy.
Well, it's all the freshest. I'm not going to go there.
Please don't.
So, although just farming still, actually doing a really good job of just dodging everything at the moment. And it feels like I wasn't really expecting tempo in the game where it's so slow, it feels like, and then these massive team fights break again, and then everyone just waits for ages before they fight. I know Mineski are waiting for their cooldowns, but Complexity, like I said, Complexity doing such a good job. But then I thought they would in this draft, and when Mu gets such Evas online as well, that's really going to help them be able to kite people around.
Yeah, I'm still interested to see who has it on the late game, because both teams seem more than happy just to wait it out and you know, see what we can do going into this late game. And I kind of feel the Complexity draft for that.
Yeah, definitely. The PL's the super core here this game, because they don't have a really good way of dealing with him and locking him down. They've got the net, but he has the Manta to help himself out. It feels like they really need that third Roche on Mineski. You know, they need that refresher shard, so that when if the Tide goes for a refresher orb as well, they might need to commit all 3 ravages to kill the PL. And I'm not exaggerating there.
Well, that is a bold claim. We'll see if it's true. I mean, sure, Jericho got his full damage. He can make light work of this PL if he's exposed, right?
He can, but the problem is the lockdown. And I feel like if PL gets to level 25 and he gets this doppelganger talent, it might be a really serious issue for Mineski, because although the crit's nice on PL, it does really amp your damage output. I think the doppelganger talent will be insane this game, but here we go, up to the high ground.
Yep, Mineski, they're done. They want to commit to this one, and of course they still have the ages, so it's just run out on the gyrocopter. They can kill Mushi right now. Really big with Complexity, they just can't seem to find the initiation. And that's kind of been the story of this game. Mineski is just allowed to go up, take an objective, and get out, and Complexity just don't seem to punish them for it.
Yeah, you really don't want to pop your BKBs before the sleep and the Ravage comes out, because otherwise Mineski are just going to kite you back, just completely turn around the fight, wipe you back the other way. So it's difficult, and I think they needed to be in a position quicker to defend the racks. But unfortunately, Chessie was still in the top lane, just pushing out. Yeah, I feel like it's been a recurring theme this game.
Very much so. Okay, just up onto the high and actually use the sun to ice.
Yeah, they run
away immediately.
They want to fight while the exorcism's down. They go now, but unfortunately, yeah, they don't find anything. Mineski doing a really good job of just sitting on the high ground and fighting around their shrine.
Yeah, and Mu will be forced back to clear out this creep wave, and they didn't seem to click this being pushed in.
Yeah, I mean, it's fine. A little bit on your tier 3 is not nice, but I'm surprised he's not finished the catapult first. Okay, never mind. It's all okay, guys.
Yes,
everything's fine. I do have the Shivas now as well, which is going to be really nice against all the attack speed, and the fire on the PL too. I'd like to see him really get involved with fights now. There's no point going for this nullifier if you're just going to carry on and split pushing and things. They need to just try and find some pickoffs here, but Mineski just doing a really good job of kind of wandering around as at least 2 or 3 all the time.
Well, Joe, he's found himself high of scat on top of this butterfly, so I mean, you know, he's top of the net earth part, but Mushi's doing well this game, really well this game. He's got a lot of farm. Not surprising with a flight cannon, you know, versus a PL and versus a DK, you just don't quite farm as quickly. But, you know, still all bits of Mushi. These are a lot of items.
Do you know what? He might actually go for the basher again like we saw yesterday. It wouldn't surprise me. Against his PL, like, they're lacking lockdown, and he could even just go for the Abyssal. It sounds ridiculously stupid, but I don't think it's too bad the game. More likely to go for the Satanic, though, I think. Maybe even the Lincolns to try and help against his static link from the Razor. I think that would be a good choice. Maybe not that so good, because obviously the Bounty Hunter can just trap and take it off, but it means the Razor can't blink in by himself before thinking about and telling Z-Freak to track him before.
Absolutely. Well,
trading shrine kills though here.
Yeah, like one shrine, Mineski, they'll take another. It's been very much the motto of this game, hasn't it? Trades, you know? And
Complexity needs to get back here, because Mineski are almost in the base. They're just not here enough again, it feels like.
Yeah, and there comes out Big Citizen. And it comes a stun. Nice,
The Aeon dish.
Strike onto two. Yeah, they certainly do. Eyesight just threatening with that rabbit to the front lines.
The tower into half, and now they're into fight. What can they do?
Aeon just ops, and now Backlog will be able to take that back. Drop it. What a damage. There comes a Ravage, but late as the 3Bs are fucking away. And look at the damage from Essie as they just come forward here. They're taking out the jabs as well. Meanwhile, in front of the fight, Jara is going to get low. Saxa is in place to get that stun onto Moon.
Honor the cheese on the spirit vessel.
Can they bring him down? They can't quite do it. They're completely blocking their heal there. So much damage coming out from Complexity. They are going to be able to take down Zed from no one left on the side of Mineski as they are both back to base. But what a fight from Complexity there.
Yeah, great fight. They pick out, identify that Naga's the one they need to go on, and PL just completely ignores everybody, jumps to the back line, nullifies the Naga and goes, I am here for you, sweet prince, and I will take you in my arms.
Well, that went a completely different direction than I was expecting. But yes, Chessie dealt with that Naga Siren, and that ended with no song, no counter initiation. Complexity just completely took that fight into their hands. And what can they take for it, though? Yeah,
Complexity need to make sure they don't F off the
Roche in 2 seconds, but they don't know that.
Oh no, they saw Rune disappear to the base, and now
the watermelon be split open, and Beefy is glittering inside, running forwards here. That's going to take the Kraken shot. What from help him out now. He's trying to turn the clock out move. He doesn't have that static link available, and now he's rooted up. He's going to go down, and they also find the bounty hunter in the middle of that one as well. Ninja Boogie does fall in the end for his sin for stopping out the sides. That's okay.
Yeah, he's going to be very happy with that. We talked about how sacrificial Ninja Boogie this game, and he is basically just the swap at this point. It's a nice wave of as well. It's pretty good, but it doesn't really offer anything at this point in time. Just the swap.
Yeah, I mean, you know, the aura's nice. I feel like he doesn't love it, but that aura does make a big difference in a team fight, especially when you stack it on top of the Alpha Wall. And anti-armor, of course, a big part of that draft, but yeah, I mean, he's also horrendously underfarmed and underleveled.
It's more important that he saved somebody else, that's the main thing. I know, yeah, Complexity realised that the Roche going on, they really don't want to give Mineski that third Roche just because of the refresher shard.
Yeah.
Get that on the Tide, get the cheese on the DP, the Aegis on Mushi. That's the time for Mineski to win the game, that's the big moment. This is what makes heroes like DP and Tide so good again, because of that refresher shard.
You sure not the refresher shard on the Tide Hunter?
Yeah, I think so. It's that double ravage is massive. They could give it to the DP, but I imagine she'll probably go for an Octarine for at some point. I mean, if they get a good Ravage off and win the fight, they can always just pass it over to the DP, who will just pop it again. So.
You know, Lion's got an Mineski of his own, which I think helped out with the initiation in that last fight.
Yeah, absolutely. And Zefri cut in here, he's like, oh, there's nobody in the Roche, I wonder where they are.
Oh, Mineski's going to cut, Zefri's going to reveal it. Oh, Molly's gosh, just about gets away in time. Then he does come forward, has got that sentry, and now it's back, and Zefreak is down.
And this is a big kill, because Zefri gives so much vision in these team fights with the tracks that, okay, they're going on the bot lane now twice. DP, sorry.
This is a really good kill. Maybe I'll get it. There's a nullify ripping through the air on this, and they'll be able to find that. A much better trade up for them, and there is nobody in this Roche pit right now. Yeah. For Mineski.
Getting the nullifier before the EKB popped well on the D, absolutely huge, and without the Exorcism, I think Complexity can best just walk into that Roche pit. This is going to be really good. Yes, vision Mineski. They do have that one just outside the pit on their side, but I don't think Complexity are going to be scared.
No, I don't think they care if they're seen going into this.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Moon by back here though on profit. I don't think they want to give this age away. It's so important.
This is the most important Roche in a game.
Yeah. I think they need to wait for Ice to age though before the DP buys back.
And there we go. All these PL illusions just get cleared out by Ice. And actually, it's commit a little bit of energy. Got this rabbit as they trying to take down this type of Moose on the front lines. He's just tanking it up. Everybody's PKPs are off right now. But once it's down, the Ravage is going to be available. Lincoln that steals quite a lot of his damage. He's hitting for not a lot now. Comes Chessie with all of these illusions. Can they take down the Jara? Doesn't look like they will. Meanwhile, the storm comes out and it's just
Moon blinks away though. They get the PK on the
DK on the high ground, but do they even see him? Doesn't look like they do.
Yeah, Daxa back as well on this line. This Roche is so important, and I don't think Complexity back in time. They're beating her out. They're so
down
important.
so quickly. Roshanna's going to go the side of Mineski, and this is catastrophic for Complexity. They have to find a way. These refresher shots, these Aegis, the cheat. Interestingly, not enough. Ice is the one that picks up everything.
Okay, so maybe they probably don't have slots on the other two heroes now. If you look at Mushi's items, Oh no, he's got a Ring of Aquila, but he does have 7,000 gold on this, so probably going to look to pick up that attack now.
That makes sense.
And I love that DP's going for Hex as well. We've talked about their lack of lockdown, and I think it's important they got on top of the PL and try and burst him in the duration. And they probably, the thing is, if the DP gets a blink as well, she can blink Hex the PL, and then the follow-up Ravage comes out, and then I think they have the just enough time to bring down the PL. And there's the DD on Bushi. This is it's pretty big.
Well, what a game number 1 is turning into, and it's
he's actually going for an MKB on Bushi, I think, instead of the Satanic. Oh, it's a Daedalus. Wow.
Okay, that's aggressive.
I guess just a
like
raw damage.
Yeah, I like it, because now with those Ravages, they can actually take down the PL in time. He's just trying to... He hasn't really tanked himself up enough to be able to survive all of this, so...
I think he understands that a lot of their damage is coming from Exorcism. It's not really doing enough. He is their main source of damage, and if he doesn't go for it, then nobody else will. But at the same time, there you go, there's the AC on Limp, so that's going to negate some of the damage coming out from Bushi.
Yeah, it's pretty big as well, just for dealing with that Tidehunter on the thing.
He has been trying, but it's so difficult to bring down the Tide, even in the Silver Age and the Hex from Saxa.
Yeah, I mean, Ice crazy tank this game.
And he's the agent as well, so he can basically stand on the front line now and not really get at all.
No.
Love that he's got the mangoes in his stash as well, so can always...
Nice, got mangoes. Yeah,
he needs the mana too.
He does. With the refresher, you know, he might need just pop into the enemy base and pick up some mangoes and get that mana back.
Yeah, and this is Mineski group up time. Oh, he actually blips into
that was a very aggressive blink, but not punished at all. And here we go, jumping forward, trying to take down the Death Bomb. As quick as possible, the swap is there. DKB's a pop move. He's going to go down, and it's actually raised in the middle scores. He's getting taken down. Move is going to drop. No buyback available. The second Ravage comes through, and this is completely disastrous from Plexi. Let lose all 3 cores, and the game goes.